Okay, well, let's talk about sustainability. What's your definition of sustainability in relation to this video series?
Sustainability, it's a great concept. When we talk about sustainability, we normally look to the environment. We look at how do we keep our natural resources, how do we keep them moving forward? How do we keep them and from not depreciating? So that's really what it's all about. But then I have to tell you about the agrarians, because that's where I think that where we're going in terms of sustainability. That's where we're going right now. Back in the 1700s, we came into America in the 1750s, came into the Industrial Revolution. Prior to that, the pre-industrial revolution, they're what we call the agrarians. The agrarians were farmers. They were tribal people. They lived in little communities, in rural areas, and families were very important to them. The government structure was very simple. An individual worked hard. They saw the just rewards, and really, it was their whole community, their whole economy was centered around land and labor. There was a very deep respect for the land. Because of that reciprocal relationship, you had individuals, neighbors that would work each other's farm. There was a sense of commitment. There was a sense of independence. There was a sense of respect. I earned it, and a sense of that, a sense of fairness. Family was very important. There was a spirituality because of the agrarians. Well, when the reindustrialization age came, revolution came, you had modernization of the equipment. So now farms that were largely controlled by labor, machines took those places, and some of those individuals didn't have any work. Then you had the young people, like young people today, they wanted something better, so they left those rural areas and went into the cities for the bright lights and hopefully to make more wealth. And what happened is you saw agrarians going into factories, losing their sense of independence. They became dependent, and they relied more on these factories. Management, because the agrarians were very sharp in terms of working the land, but in terms of manufacturing, they were uneducated and unskilled. And so there were systems built in place, we call management, to control the agrarians. And so what happened is you had children working long hours, you had families being broken off, relationships was broken off, and the environment. There was not the same type of respect for the environment with the agrarians. So now we're in the 21st century. Where are we now? We've learned that if man wants to survive, there needs to be a balance between technology and the environment. And so that's what sustainability, how do we manage all these things? There's a book that I'm actually using called Sustainability Revolution by Andre Edwards. And he talks about a triangle, a tripod of dealing with the economy, economics, dealing with the environment or ecology, and dealing with fairness or equity. And that's because you have different countries. You know, now you have China, you have India coming on the scene. America is now the superpower. Well, who knows the next 20 years what's going to happen. So they have population growth. India and China dealing with population growth. Then you have America. You know, I think it's one of the greatest places to be. But others say, America, you're 20% of the world's population, and you're utilizing 80% of the resources. And so there is a sense of untrust, maybe a little bit of hatred, that we call haters, that's going around for America. And so we're going to have to deal with those issues in terms of sustainability. How do we move forward? I know individuals, I know you know individuals that are unemployed. You know, how do we're outsourcing more. Our core competencies are becoming small in terms of certain areas. Manufacturing is one of those. So what do we do in terms of the standard of living. You know, so what do people do that are not as educated as we are, or they want, you know, they don't want to go to college, they don't want to, that didn't graduate from high school? What do we do with these millions of people? That's the problem that we have to face for the future. So that's what sustainability is all about. That whole gamut, and education is another part of that additional thing to consider when we talk about sustainability.
Well, that's some good growing concerns that you've mentioned, but how do you think corporate executives could understand that and gain a competitive edge in the marketplace, in their marketplace?
Well, again, globalization has made us closer. You know, that we're no longer separated by bodies of water, that we're connected. And so understanding, I think, being culturally sensitive of the world, you know, how do we manage our resources in a good stewardship sense of way, I think is very important. And how do we do it strategically? How do I know that I need a IT expert in India and maintain this core base in America and maintain my resources? So if an individual or company or organization, if they're already thinking about the next 5 to 10 years, how I'm going to compete, they're better off than individuals saying, I'm just trying to put out fires today. And you know, I'll worry about what happens tomorrow. They're in a whole different set of situations. And we look at social media. Those individuals who strategically take advantage of that are going to be the ones that be the leaders in the future.
Okay. So what tips would you provide those professionals today? Any guidance, any recommendations on strategic leadership towards sustainability?
I think one of the best things that we can ever do is to watch and to listen. There's a term that we talked about in our class when we were talking about contemporary management, but environmental scanning. Every day, at least while I'm at work, Monday through Friday, I try to read a paper, I try to look at Google, I try to look at CNN, what's going on around the world, and how those things link to what I'm trying to do. And I think executives, I think professionals, individuals should look and see what's going on and try to connect those dots. In other words, looking at trends, how those trends best help me compete. So I'm trying to look at trends. I'm trying to what technologies that are not being fully utilized can I exploit in the marketplace. So those things I think are very, very important. I think managers can do that, and always stay hungry. You know, I'm hungry. I have a solid background in terms of employability, but I'm always hungry. I'm always trying to get better. And I think as long as the entrepreneur, as long as that business executive stays hungry, they can compete.
That's good. That's very good. Any additional insight on all of that then? I mean, any final words of wisdom from Dr. Green?
No, I think you've done a wonderful job. Matter of fact, as we were talking, we are going to be, one of the things that we're going to do in this video series is try to introduce some industry leaders that perhaps individuals are not familiar with. And I would love to have you part of my show. I would like for you to be the guest host.
I love that.
Your time to start. Oprah's looking for, America's looking for another replacement.
Okay.
I think you're ready for it. And I'm just so glad that you'll agree to team up with me.
I will. I will.
And our goal is to make a difference.
I think so. I think this is going to be very helpful.
So, okay, well, thank you so much.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, I'm so tired. Work is hard.
What else to add to your plate of ideas? And
we're going to get
constantly
started.
going. It is so funny to watch you go.
Well,
it's inspirational.
Well, take care of yourself.
You be good.
All right.
All right, Dr. Green.
Bye-bye.
This show. We hope to continue to bring industry experts to help motivate. Again, this is Dr. Daryl Green, host of Inspirational Moments, saying never give up and keep your head up and keep moving on.